This is your brother Gabar. We're coming to you live from the Boogie Down Bronx. This is IAMFITPodcast. Peace, peace, peace. Shalom. Thank you for having me. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me tonight. So thank you. So let's recap last week's show, right? We had a conversation about I think this is a Muslim sister in social media. She's gone viral, and she's educating women from the Islamic perspective how wives supposed to be treating their man. And the title was Muslim woman puts Christian and Israelite women to shame. And I stand by that. You know, culture is a hell of a thing. Culture is a powerful thing. What culture you grew up in and where part of the world you grew up with, where you grew up at, speaks volume on your values, on your beliefs, on your outlook on life. Culture is extremely important. So I want to recap a little bit. Last week, let's see here. Let me put this and put this. Okay. Last week conversation. Let me see. Okay, perfect. And I want to recap. So those that don't remember, right? So I want to play my video and I don't have to say fair use because it's my document, it's my context. But let's set the stage for people. If just in case you forgot, I could remind you. Caught up with women like this, and I realized, I need to wrap it up, man. I need to wrap. I cannot just simply ejaculate into any random women because kids are being born out of these random sex scenario, and that's I only need to learn once to say, you know what, I'm not going to be having these babies with all these different women and so forth, so on. Absolutely, because it's. But listen, you was young and naive, and think the Most High that you was able to learn early on and realize what's going on. But this is the lesson I want to do next week. I want to hear your thoughts on this, the conversation.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to put 10 bullet points for men. And I'm just doing 7. I had some others, and I wanna. My 7 is going to be throwing the table, but ultimately I want to have a back and forth with my audience tonight, and I want to see, did I miss something? Did I got something wrong? That I could have gotten something better? So I'm going to put these 7 bullet points from a perspective of you should not marry a woman in America. You should not have children with a woman in America. But if you're going to do it, these are the speculations. You should the rules you should go by. The non-negotiables, right? Shalom, brother Adam. So we're gonna be dealing with the 7, and I wanna get you guys feedback, and we're gonna, iron sharpen iron, so to speak, right? So let's and I want to play this video. There's another video I want to play. This is my recommendation. You should not date women in America. You should wait, semen retention, and wait until you get a woman overseas. But if you're going to choose a woman in America, I want to put together the 10 bullet points. What to look out for, the do's and don'ts of choosing a woman in America. I'm going to play around with the title, because we have to sound the alarm to these young brothers. And hopefully shows like this can be spread. That's why I get, if brothers want to use my context and spread it and use, reach out to me and so forth, so on, because I am, I'm a one-man team and so forth, so on. So if people want to, help me out, spread this message, and have a conversation about I Am Fit Podcast, Man Going God's Way, and what we, send me an email because I need help here to spread this message. And for the record, officially this Sunday, we're having our first Man Going God's Way meeting. Shout out to the brothers. If you did not receive an email or invitation a few days ago, please let me know, and I'll be available. I'll send you an email. If you thought you was on my list and you didn't get it, just double check. Make sure that you check your maybe your spam. But this Sunday, I will tell you, you will have more details if you call. Once you send me the email. So we're gonna be having our first Man Going God's Way official meeting, right? So, because folks, I want to play another video because this is not an isolated incident. This is not something that it's men across the board, black and white, are talking about this, and successful men now are realizing that if they're going to have a wife, they should go overseas, right? The Passport Bros, shout out to them. I may bring some of the brothers from the Passport Bros on the show in a few weeks. I'm working on that behind the scenes. I'm actually supposed to have interviewed the brother before they canceled my previous show. So now I'm back to back to normal. So I'm going to probably bring him back on the show. I want to hear you guys' opinion on these 7 bullet points that I put on, but just hold your phone calls. I will be taking phone calls, and I'm going to be putting the Zoom link as well. But after I play my video, and I also after I put together I present the 7 bullet points first, right? But I want to play this video first, right? Because this is no longer an isolated incident, right? This is not something that's only going on or it's a problem in the black community. I think the black community is the setters, good and bad. And this is the reason why it's essential for us to, let's see here. Shut up on 1%, brother. Goodbye. Okay, shut up on brother Judah. Thanks, I got your text. Oh, folk. Yep. I'll be sending your information. I appreciate it. This is across the board, guys. This is not only dealing with the black issue, but I believe, with all due respect to my sister, I believe that the world is getting cursed by the curse of all the women now are getting inspired, are getting infiltrated, or are now becoming, having the same issues that the curse that was put on the daughters of Zion, in Isaiah chapter 3 is now spilling over to other races. Fair use.
Back to the thing you're saying about Asian women, when I think about it, like, all right, so my girl's Armenian. So she grew up in this community where societally the way that they relate to each other is a little bit different. And very early on, I started to realize, oh, she loves to clean up after me. She loves to cook for me. She loves to take care of me. And the first time that I ever brought her around my mom, and my girl went up to go get me a plate of food when the food got served or whatever, I didn't even have to get up. I didn't even think about it. She just brings me over a plate of food. And my mom says to her, like,
sisters, you want to keep a man, it's not a push-up bra. It's not a tight skirt. Okay? It's these principles: cooking and cleaning for your man, taking care of your man, looking out for your man.
Why are you doing that for him? Make him get up and get his own plate of food.
Yeah, so
and
this is his mother saying this, his own mother. See, back in the days when you see a mother, right, or a man brings his girlfriend to his mother, and the girlfriend is trying to impress the mother by, being a good person or cleaning and doing wifely type of duties, the mother would say, that's a good woman. You better keep her. But now what the mothers are saying. What the mothers are saying now.
I'm just thinking, look at what feminism has done to our society, that my mom thinks that she's doing something wrong by loyally serving her, what would go on to be her fiance. And I understand where my mom's coming from, because she probably grew up in more of like a sexist environment where she thinks that that's wrong. My girl, she likes that. That makes her feel good to be able to,
Right.
do things for me.
Right. My mom did the same thing to my Japanese when I was married. And I had to
Pay attention, guys. Mothers now are this getting all bent out of shape when they see a woman feeding and taking care of their own son. Back in the days, I remember when my wife met my mother and they got along immediately. My wife, she was like, calling her mom, do you need help? Helping her in the kitchen immediately. And immediately after meeting her, getting to know her, my mother would be like, you better take care of this woman. She's a good woman. She's a keeper. Now it's the opposite. Pay attention.
tell my mom, I said, Mom, this is why I went to Japan to get me a wife.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah, don't ruin it. I said, that's why I ain't married no black woman. You know what I'm saying? I told my mom got so mad when I said that, but I'm just keeping it real. Like,
and sisters, this is not to make fun of you. This is not a ha-ha moment. I want you to realize how far you gone. That now this is an epidemic thing. And mark my words, this is going to get worse for you. This is not going to get better. This is not a fade. This is not a fad. This is going to go away. Trust me, men are going to realize it is hazardous for a man to marry a woman in the United States. And it's going to, this male bride order, you know what they call it when you get a wife from overseas and things of that nature. That's going to be the normal for men now, especially successful men that making six figures or even 75,000 or even 80,000. Just regular dudes, just trying to live life. They're going to realize, I want to get me a woman overseas. It's going to get worse, not better. And this is the reason why.
come on. Like, I asked my wife for a glass of water, and she was pregnant at the time, and she ran to the kitchen to get it and came back. And my mom's like, why you got this girl running to the kitchen? I said, I didn't ask her to run. I just asked her for a water, but that's how they do it.
And my Latina sisters, don't get caught up with this American culture. Don't get caught up with this American culture, my Latina sisters. A lot of you sisters sometimes grew up in the hood and you start picking up these hood rat type of mentality. Let that crap go. Go back to your grandmother's values. Not your mother's, because your mother probably grew up in the 80s. Those women that are perhaps, in the late 20s, early 30s. Go back home and start operating with those cultures. Don't get caught up with this American culture.
I don't know why they do it like that, but they hurry up and get you shit. When you ask her, I asked her really nice, hey, babe, can you get me a glass of water? And she just jogged to the kitchen.
Right.
I don't know why she did that.
Yeah.
And my mom was mad. And then from that second on, my mom was in her head. And by the time my mom left,
his own mother was in her head.
Ex-wife was already acting like a black girl, doing all this. I was like, fuck.
All right, but so I gotta hit you with this.
And he made a joke about it, but this is women are getting so. The best way to describe American women, you women are jealous of men. You just don't like to see men happy. You want men depressed. You want men stressed. You just don't enjoy seeing, especially a black man, to be served. What's wrong with you guys? I'm speaking to you women. Because I'm looking and I'm observing what's going on here. I'm like, oh, Lord. Your own son, you're not able to say, you know what? At least my son find a good girl. He found a woman that will get a glass of water for him. Will serve him. His own mother got in that woman's head. That's right, brothers. If you do bring women overseas to this country, Do not introduce them to your family, man, especially the women of your family, because women are just simply become jealous, envious. It's demons, man. It's a heavy demon that's happening in America. And don't downplay it. Don't start thinking, no, it's not going to happen to me. Not my sister, not my wife, not this woman. Brothers, run. Trust me. So, if you're going to keep a woman, right? If you're going to marry a woman in America, I would advise you not to. But if you want to throw yourself out the window, okay, let's have a conversation about this. Let's have a conversation, because I think we should at least establish certain fundamentals, right? And certain rules. Now, these rules, guys, this is for the brothers that are joining me next week at the Man Going God's Way meeting. We're going to be discussing certain things we're going to keep private, certain things we're going to publish, but we'll talk about it. We're in the infant state of building this thing, right? If you in this situation, right, and you're not, and you can't get out of it for whatever circumstance, kids, mortgage, whatever, you may not qualify for being Man Going God's Way. I'm going to keep it real with you, but we'll see what happens. But this is going to kind of be a introduction, right? So let's go to the list. I got 7 lists, 7. And I was about to do a bonus, joking around. I'll think about it if I want to do that. And I'll mention it. I would. You guys will understand once I tell you the bonus. Rules and regulations before you marry an American woman. The first thing is she must believe in God and the Son of God, right? That's a no-brainer, right? That's a no-brainer. She must believe in God and she must believe in the Son of God, right? That's a no-brainer. And these things have to be tested. They got to be tested. You cannot just simply accept someone's word for it, right? They have to accept the Most High the way you see it. If they're using words like, well, I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, run. My God is more important than any man, run. Right? So and I'm going to give you guys, and I'm going to probably show you the bonus in a few minutes. Matter of fact, let me email this to myself real quick. Let me do this real quick, guys, because I think I should. Okay, here we go. And I'm not right now taking callers, so right now I'm not taking callers. So just hold tight, because I want to first set the stage, right? And let me just do this real quick, and then there you go. I'll do this. Let me do this as well. Bear with me 2 seconds, guys. I got to email this to myself because this is important. This is extremely important, and I think you should see what I'm saying, understand what I'm saying, comprehend what I'm saying, because there we go. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, let me do this. Perfect. Let me do this. And it's sent. Anyway, perfect. Okay. All right. So this will be the first foundation. She doesn't believe in God, there's no conversation. Right? Right? There's no conversation if she doesn't believe in the Most High. The second rule of engagement, non-negotiables, is she must accept submission under her husband in all things. Period. And guys, we're going to also do some workshops in the future how to point out fakers, because a lot of women will say, yeah, I will submit to a man if I find the right one. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, yada, yada, yada. I'm struggling like anybody else, but, I believe in it. Run. Trust me. I'm going to give you pointers, right? So this is the what to look out for. Then we're going to go in the future, what to look out for women that are lying to you, right? And the number 3 is the best way to prove that they actually believe number 2. And what is number 3? Of course, believe in polygamy, right? They must believe that a man can have another wife. She has to be comfortable with it. She has to be already day one. And this is a day one. This is not, I'm going to stay with you or I'm going to be with you until you work this out. She may agree, with 4 out of the 7, 3 out of the 7. She has to agree with all these things. You must test her to make sure that she's telling the truth, right? But my advice is not to do it. But if you want to throw yourself out the window, these are things you should look out for. Number 4, no kids, no children. I think if a woman is running around with children, now you have more baggage, and these are children that are not yours. But see, I'm going to be reasonable here. But if she does have children, these will be my compromise, and I want to hear your guys' point of view. What will be the compromise? But if she has offspring, all her children must come from the same man. And that man must have passed away. Because there's a difference. Let's just say a sister marry a man in her 20s, and she's 35, she's 45, she's 40, she's 38. Her children are, pretty much teenagers or out the house at this point. And her husband died in a horrible car accident. That's a different woman with those 3 kids versus another woman with 3 kids by 2 different fathers, by 3 different fathers. Run. Now, a woman that's been married with the same man and also has children by the same man. And if like a situation that you are older man, like myself, I'm 50. If God forbid I have to get remarried or I need to add another wife, 9 times out of 10, the women that I'm going to be attracted to me are going to be older women, 30 something and older, right? And 9 times out of 10, they will probably have children. If they have children, these should be the protocols. If they have offspring, it must be from one man. They were married, and that man must pass away. If that man's still alive, okay, I don't care if he's in jail. I don't care if he's whatever it is. It didn't work out. We grew apart. Whatever it is, okay, you tell, listen, it probably best you to work it out with that man. Because if you have to flee, you got to do all over you have to be like a pilgrim on the earth, then you got to take the responsibility of another man's seed. My recommendation or the do's and don'ts will be do not marry a woman that has multiple children by multiple men. Absolutely not. Okay, so let's go to number 5. Okay? Number 5. She must be a virgin. But Gabar, that's hard to find. You're right. It is hard to find because I'm trying to I'm trying to deter you from marrying a woman in America. But if you're going to marry a woman in America, if you're going to be with a woman in America, let me be reasonable. If you can't find a virgin, she can have no more than 3 past lovers. No more than 3. And that's depending how old she is. Right? So it should be very limited access sexual past and things of that nature. Okay. Brother M. Darrow 45 says no luck on number 5 in America. What I'm saying, listen, date at your own risk. I would deal with 3, but that's my personal preference, right? Because, like I said, I'm trying to deter you guys, right? Number 6. Let's go to number 6 real quick. Hold on, let me just get this right here. Boom, boom. Okay. Number 6. And this was a tough one. However, though, I believe it's necessary. And what's number 6? Raised by her biological father. Raised by her biological father. Study shows that if a child, man or woman, a girl or boy, is raised by the father, the chances raises, I think, 80% higher in regards of not being a criminal, not being suicidal, not being a scenario that they are, problematic. So a woman that was not raised by her father, you're gonna have some problems. All right. Okay. Last but not least, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about, but I'm going to not say it, and you guys understand what I'm saying. Last but not least, run drum roll, please. Has not taken, you know what I'm saying. It's not taking that, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to say it. If YouTube kicks me out, follow me in Rumble. Not vaxxed. Why? Right? We don't know the long-term effects. We don't know if we in a situation that it may affect her in the future. And now you got to be responsible having somebody who is a handicapped scenario or someone who has an illness that you did not plan for. I would not do it, right? Now, if you're going to do it, right, or you should do it, or until they have a scientific proven way to reverse any negative effect that could harm them or others. So this is the 7 bullet points. And I'm going to reveal the 8th in a few minutes. And this is important. This is important because these are the type of women, with all the respect, sister, and I love you. I'm saying this from the heart, and I'm saying this from a place of truth, and I'm saying from a place of love. And let me just put this real quick before we start. Hold on 2 seconds. Okay. I'm saying this from a place of love, sister. Okay. Not a place of hate, not a place of dislike. Okay. Not a place, matter of fact, let me see if I could open this bad boy up. There we go. Okay, I could do that. I could live with that. Boom. Perfect. Okay. This is going to be the last. This is going to be the bonus, brothers. All right? The bonus. Okay, and what is the bonus? The bonus stipulation is do not marry a sister like Kaya Yasha'Allah. And I love you, sister. I hope you're doing well. And let me explain to you why. And I know she comes on every so often and start chatting and having conversation and bringing her 2 cents. And I don't mind sisters coming on the show, but this is a man generated show. This is a man for men by men. By men for men. And the problem with sisters like you, sister, and I love you. You got your own little show, your own little channel. Subscribe to her, right? Is when we was having this discussion about polygamy and plural wives and all that, right? No one asked your opinion about polygamy. No one asked you, right? And I know the proper term is polygyny. That's when polygamy is like everybody else could have sex with anybody else, but polygyny is specifically a man, multiple wives, right? And I'm gonna start receiving phone calls in a few minutes, so just bear with me. But the sisters like this, right? And I don't know. I think she took down the comments, and then the brothers were going back and forth with her. And I appreciate the brothers defending the point, and they did it intentionally. I mean, excellently speaking, they did it beautifully. They couldn't rebuttal. I couldn't have done it better. And the issue is this. Sisters like her are good sisters, but they're misguided. First of all, sister, in the Bible it says, I suffer not a woman to teach nor uphold authority over a man. For they are commanded, not by Paul, but by God, to be in submission. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. Women, you having a TikTok, you having an Instagram, you having a YouTube channel, and want to spread the word, you are violating God's commandment. That's not your purpose. That's not your calling. I don't care if you heard a voice. I don't care if you got visited by an angel. I don't care if you had a vision. I do not care. Women's position in the body of Christ is not teaching, period, in any way. You should get yourself under a man, either a pastor or a husband, and assist him. And I don't mind sisters coming to, teaching other sisters and how to be in a scenario and how to be obedient wife to your husband and all that, right? But sisters have to stop. And I'm no longer going to normalize it. I'm not going to allow sisters coming into this show and then thinking, let me just take this off real quick, and then thinking it is okay. We could agree to disagree. No. Sister, I'm trying to save your soul. And sisters like you, and I remember when you was commenting that, yeah, in the Bible, God condoned polygamy, but it was not his will. And I don't think that was God's will. And that's the problem. That's the reason why women should not be teaching. Because you're too emotionally involved. You too, and shout out to Brother Romeo for that super chat. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. It's much needed. And much, if you want to support, anybody wants to support, you got the Cash App in the bottom. You also got the PayPal. Women like yourself have to stop. And if nobody's telling you, and you are a nice woman, but you're delusional. And because you're a nice woman, and because you are someone that is polite and somewhat articulate and things of that nature, you think that what you're doing is okay. And you seem like a woman around my age or in your 50s and things of that nature. So I want to give you your respect and things of that nature. But you're going straight to the pits of hell. Because you're breaking the commandments of God. James says, if you keep the whole commandment and you offend in one, you're guilty of them all. The problem with the Christian church today and the problem that's going on today in the world, especially in the Christian church, a lot of women that a lot of these women that were first at one point were before they became Israelite, they were Pentecostal. And that Pentecostal religion needs to be burned to the ground. Is the best example of a cult. Is the best example of brainwashing. Because what they do, you got to speak in tongues to be saved and to be to be ordained as the a chosen of God. So then people go into church, and this is remarkable. There should be tests and studies on this. You have a culture that creates delusional. And everything is a miracle. Everything is a sign from God. Speaking in tongues. Women evangelism and going out there. I got a vision. I got a calling. And you know who allowed that nonsense? You men. Shame on you men. That's why only 25% of the churchgoers are men. And the men that are going are simps. Real men are not going to church. It's because of women like you, sister. And I love you. I want to work with you. I respect you. But I got to call evil, evil. And the bottom line, sister, you could do all that nice, and I want to just express the word. I want to go over some scriptures, and I got this revelation from God. A lot of you sisters that are dealing with this YouTube teaching thing, a lot of you are mentally ill. You got trauma issues, and you have taken that trauma and thinking that now this is your calling, to be talking in front of a camera. Get yourself a husband. Be under a man. Do not follow what you call the spirit. Do not follow that gut feeling that you think is right. It's wrong. And I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I'm not trying to be someone that is being malicious. Shalom, Brother David. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you. Appreciate you doing the work. Thank you, brother. But we have to stop just simply allowing this thing to happen. Women teaching, and we're just going to agree to disagree. Women out there in social media arguing, going back and forth to tending with men and all that. That needs to stop. I'm never going to shadow ban, block you, brothers or sisters. But if you're going to come and start talking about scriptures and all that, and you're a sister, I'm going to call you out on it. I'm not going to block you out. I'm not going to block you out. I'm not going to, I'm a open, listen, this is an open scenario, open source, open dialogue with anybody. However, okay, if I see bullcrap, I'm going to call out bullcrap. And the reason why I need to point this out, sister, and I don't see you here tonight, and that's probably maybe the title, right? Got you scared or got you pissed. I'm not watching that. I'm gonna, you should not date a woman in America. He's being mean. He's being malicious. He's being a male machismo. Blah blah blah. I don't care. I'm trying to save your soul. There's too many women in America out of control. They're out of control, and the temperature is getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I'm trying to stop the temperature from rising. Because when men are now exploring their horizon and they're starting to knowing their worth, and more importantly, now they're starting to learn women nature, the manipulation, the denial, delusional. Sister, you're smart enough to read in the Bible. It says that a woman should not be teaching men. And it's amazing how we are Sabbath keepers because that's the law. It's amazing how we keep the dietary laws. It's amazing. We will tell a Christian, a modern day Christian, you know, Christ says that, think not I came to do the way with the law nor the prophets. Well, you have prophets with multiple wives. God condoned that, but that was not his will. How do you know the will of God if he didn't tell you? Did you have some special connection between God and you? And I like the answer what the brother gave in the comment, having the discussion with the sister. So that means if God did not want man to have multiple wives, but he allowed it, he condoned it, that means he condoned sin. God doesn't condone sin. God call out sin. And if it was a sin, he will call it out. Like when David slept with Uriah the Hittite's wife, God was upset with him, and Samuel was speaking to King David, and God was speaking through Samuel. And Samuel told David, if you wanted more, David, if you wanted more of these, he said, God gave you wives, he gave you riches, silver and gold, he gave you your master's house. He was talking about, he took over Saul's house, right? And if you wanted more of these things, he would have gave you more. That's what God told David. So you women have to stop swallowing your pride. No, it's not, let's agree to disagree. What was this he said? Me not believing in polygamy doesn't mean it's not salvation driven. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because you read it, you don't accept it, and you're saying, okay, I'm going to do everything else. I want to have my head covering. I'm going to come across as, a righteous woman with my head cover. Listen, that's a trick. That's a trick. And they'll start rationalizing breaking the commandments of God. And listen, I'm not living in a polygamous lifestyle right now. And I choose not to because I'm in America. But it's not against the law. It's not this thing of, it was not the will of God. He just condoned it. That came from this satanic church called Pentecostal, Christian, Catholic, whatever it is you want to call it, modern day Christendom. That's where that doctrine comes from. That is run by women. 75% of women going to church, people that are going to church are women. So of course they're going to say that because they're an emotional creature by nature. That's why they cannot be leading anything. Let me see if I could call back the last caller. I think it was from Boston. Let me see here. Where was this caller from? I don't see you, caller. If let me see, recent. 857. There you go. 857. Let me see if I could call you and bring you back. Do I have him? Okay, I was trying to call you. Oops, sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. So call me back if you want to call me back. I got a Boston number it was calling, but I wanted to first bring the presentation because I wanted to make sure that everybody got what they needed. And shout out to brother TC, always supporting the show. DC in the house. Thank you, brother. You're always supporting the show. Appreciate you. So this is the thing, guys. This is the issue. This is the problem. This is what we need to talk about. This is the conversation us men needs to start having. We have to start breaking away. Okay, brother Judah. I see brother Judah. Let me see if I can bring him in. All right, Brother Judah, you live. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Shalom,
Shalom.
Brother Gabar. How are you today, sir?
I'm great. I'm great. Was that you calling earlier, or that was somebody else?
I think it was someone else.
Okay.
I decided to kind of keep a little quiet on this one, sir, unless you know, hey, all I got to say is cut me loose and I'm going to go. I'm going to be patient and wait for everybody else to go, sir. And whenever you're ready for me to go in, tell me loose.
Well, no, I'm ready to cut you loose right now. So what you got to say? What do you think about the 7 bullet points? What do you think? Did I miss something? If I'm going too far with it? What is your thoughts on the 7 bullet points?
Oh, man, I think they're awesome. And, you know, I had to take a picture of it. I had to put the actual live on the TV. And I took a picture of the bullet points so that I can stay on point tonight because, you know, sometimes I get a little distracted, but I've been working on that, sir. So,
Okay.
yeah, I agree with every bullet point. I'm just reading over them real quick. You know, like number 1, believe in God. Oh, real quick, before I say anything else, Shalom, brothers and sisters out there, and peace and blessings, everyone. What's up? All right, here we go. All praise be unto the Most High. Yeah, man. Let's get it. Okay, so number 1, believe in God and the Son of God. Ooh, I agree 100%. That is a necessity. That is imperative. Number 2, believe and accept submission under her husband in all things. Ooh, that's according to the scriptures as well. Number 3, believe and accept polygyny, which is the same as polygamy. I agree 100%. The Bible fully supports that.
All right, Brother Judah, I think we lost him. I'm pretty sure he'll call back. I know I don't know if this is, and I tested out with other numbers. I think, Brother Judah, you may be in a bad area. So I know you're going to probably call back in a few seconds. And that's you right there. Let me see if I could get you. All right, Brother Judah, you're back. Go ahead. You were saying.
Okay, yeah. It's a dang on shame. I have to have another phone here with the number typed in already because I know they're going to hang me up. I already know how these
and it's funny
and
because I test the phone and it looks like it's only happening with your phone. I don't know what's that about, but go ahead. You were saying, go ahead.
Yeah. Freaking Men in Black, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what. But anyway. All right, well, here we go. Yeah. So see that? It just totally threw me off, but that's okay. I'm going to get back to it. I got a screenshot. Okay, so again, number 2, believe and accept submission under her husband in all things. That's according to the scriptures as well. Believe and accept polygyny or polygamy, which is the same thing.
Yep.
They're interchangeable. Those
Yep.
two words are synonymous with one another.
Yep.
That's totally scriptural based as well. I agree with that as well. Number 4, no children. Absolutely. If you want to go out there and have premarital sex, prepare to take care of your child. It's called responsibility, and it's called accepting accountability. Okay? That's what it's called.
And also, let me also chime in. It does lessen you, sisters, in the sexual marketplace, because and especially a brother that is in a perspective of, okay, I'm preparing for the end. I need to travel. You set up situation in other parts of the world, and because what's going on here in America, you having children, those children are going to be a something that could slow that man down, something that it becomes a nuisance. Unfortunately, they're beautiful children. I get that, but women have to start then. I hope that this list and I hope this conversation would keep women legs closed and only open them for men that are worthy of fatherhood, and not more important than fatherhood, husband. Because women are laying with men that they are good fathers, but they don't see them as husband material. Oh, he's a good baby daddy. They're already in that mindset. So I'm hoping that this is not to shame you, sisters. This is for us to start saying, okay, my standards as a woman, I have to totally change them, because this is the standard that's going to put you in a position that you'll be able to survive what's coming. Oh, go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. Great point. Beautiful point. I agree. To touch on that, and man, this is gonna be this show here. Man, listen. Anyway, I'm gonna get straight to it because I had to pull up a scripture on what you just said, right? So, we have the destruction to matriarchal protocol.
Yeah.
We have the destruction to matriarchy protocol. You know what I mean? So, like you said earlier, we love our sisters. We really, really do. We don't hate our sisters. I had a sister what did I told you that, babe? Like a month ago, the sister tried to fight me at the gas station. She said, "Mega boy, look, my wife is right here listening to this conversation. She says she agrees with you 100%, and she's from another country, right? And she's a young lady. She has her youth, her fertility, and her beauty. And I told her, you cherish that. You take care of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't let your youth go. Don't let your take care of your fertility. Take care of your beauty. We don't have any children. I'm not going to be around here knocking her up and all this other stuff there until it's time for us to bring a child into this world, and he will be raised in righteousness. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
But I want to say this real quick. This sister and I'm going to get on this Bible scripture, and I'm going to get to a little story here in regards to men attempting to date women with children. You are a simp. I'm going to say straight up, straight like that, because guess what? It happened to me. And women know that you're simps. Women will tell you that you're a simp. And guess what? I can admit I used to be a simp. You want to know why? All right. And I'll get to the sister at the gas station that tried to fight me. I'll get to her later. But I'm going to get to these scriptures because this is more important. I don't want to get distracted.
All right. The phone dropped. He'll call. Oh, he's going to. I see another caller from. Let's see here.
Hello?
Hello, you're live. How we doing? Who's this? Who's calling?
Yeah, I got you back, good boys. I got two phones. It's okay.
You got a backup. Okay, very good, very good. You were
saying, man. Yeah, you know how we do. We coming with it. All right. So yeah. So what it was is this, because I see this is all an attempt to try to throw me off. No, I'm gonna get this out, boy. All right. So 1 Corinthians 11:3. Listen up, family, my people out there. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. So the Most High wants us to know for a fact. I know we've heard this verse 1,000 times.
Yeah. The phone dropped. I apologize, brothers and sisters. Brother Judah is calling right back, and we're gonna bring him right back in. And okay, Brother Judah, you're back. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll keep going. We keep going. Anyway. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah. Musical phones. But anyway, all right. So 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. So what do we have here? Above the woman is the man. Above the man is Christ. Above Christ is God, the Most High God. So we have God over Christ, Christ over man, man over woman. So here's my question for the people who may feel some type of way about me saying that they are perhaps a simp for dating a woman that has a child. If the man is supposed to be first in the woman's life, in which he educates her with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, and he dwells with her in accordance to wisdom and knowledge, like the scriptures say in the New Testament, you deal with that woman according to what?
Wisdom. Bear with me, folks. This is what we're going to do. Hey, Brother Judah, do me a favor. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Do me a favor.
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Call me on my other phone. I got the other phone. Okay. You got my number on my other phone, my personal phone. Call me on that number. Hang up and call me that number, and I'll be able to bring you in that way to see if that works.
Okay. All right. Doing it right now.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So Judah is going to be calling back on my other phone, and we're going to be going forward. Okay, folks. So while Judah is calling back, there he is right there. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, Brother Judah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Loud
Okay.
and clear.
Okay. Perfect. All right. All right. So let's see if this is gonna work out. Go ahead. You were saying, brother.
Let's do it. Yeah. So this is my question to people that may think that I'm a mean guy for saying what I'm saying. Because guess what? Dare I say I used to be a simp, okay? Because I didn't know no dang old better. These men get with these women, and they have a child already, and you wonder why they don't put you first. How could she put you first if, according to evolutionary biology, her child is first? The man is the survivalist. He
Right.
specializes in survival, and he ensures the safety and protection of the woman so that she can survive. The woman needs the man to survive, but the man is the specialist when it comes to survival. That's
Right.
what you call a survivalist. The man is the survivalist. The woman is the survivor because the man helps her survive. But when that man is out hunting deer, hunting antelope, or what have you, like back in the old days, that woman has to take care of that child. That child is first in her life. So if that woman got a child already, and you're not the father of that child, and you get into that woman's life with that child, you wonder why she's not going to put you first. If it's you or that baby, she going to choose that baby.
Right.
You better believe it. You think I'm lying? Try to discipline that child. Try to spank that child. Watch what happens.
Yeah.
You try.
I counsel many couples that were in that same situation, and it was the same situation. It was always, either favoritism, like, the couples come together, she had a child, and then they had a child together, and there's always some form of favoritism, or the mother feels, oh, you're spanking my son a little harder than you spank your son. And It becomes a thing. It's never good. It's never good.
Yeah.
It's never something that is health. That works out. I mean, there's certain situations that you have a brother who took a sister when the child was very young, and that child, only knew that man as the father figure, but it's never the same. It's never the same, especially if the father is still in the child's life. And these are things that we do a lot in our community, that we do not understand that it's part of the problem in why our children are all out of order in the streets.
Right.
We have to stop doing these things. So, brothers, if you see a sister and so forth, so on, and she has a child and all that, right? 1 year old, sometimes as young as 9 months, 8 months. They're just getting out of the relationship with another man. You should not be even thinking about talking about, let me take care of this woman. Because what she's going to do, she's going to say, my baby's daddy, he's a deadbeat dad, he's abusive. She's going to give you all the victimization speech. I've been through a lot. He should mistreat me. I'm going through so much, and you're going to come in trying to be what? Mr. Hero, Superman. I'll take care of you and your kids. Mm-hmm. And in your mind, you think she should be grateful that I'm willing to take this extra responsibility. And she's going to respect the heck out of me. Okay, good luck with that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's just, and a lot of brothers are doing these things, but for some reason, we understand why women are doing it, because, they're survivalists. They need to survive. They're going to get the best scenario they got going for themselves. But after you have 3 or 4 kids by different men, that means you're not learning the lesson. I could respect a woman that will say, I did a mistake with one child. The next man that I'm going to lay with and be with is going to be my husband. Okay, I could respect that. But after 3 or 4 kids and you haven't learned the lesson, I don't know what to tell you. Go ahead, brother. You were saying.
Yeah, yes, sir. Great point. And it's like 2 things here, and I'm gonna keep my finger on my notes here, because I take you and I take this podcast, I take this truth serious. I take this topic, this conversation serious. You understand what I mean? Because like you say, it needs to be burnt to the ground. And if you ask me, the Most High has allowed you to set up this platform to do it. We're gonna burn it to the ground. Yeah. Now watch this. And we ain't got to curse. We ain't got to disrespect. We ain't got to talk condescending to anyone. We ain't got to call nobody out their name. We're going to burn it to the ground with the truth.
Yeah.
Because check this out, Brother Gabar, big brother. It's like this. I had a partner. And if he's listening, I love him. But, hey, this is what it is. I told him this to his face multiple times. And I love the brother. I'm not going to call his name. I'm not going to say what state he lives in. But you get with a woman who has a child, and you wonder why that child don't love you the way you want that child to love you. The little girl didn't come out of you. She did not come out of you. What does that mean? She does not have your DNA. What does that mean? The affection is not going to be the same. Yeah. What does that mean? When you tell her to do something, she's not going to do it as fast as your own child that came out of your body. She's not going to do it as fast as your child would, your actual bloodline descendant would, your own seed. Your seed, if you tell your seed to do something because they fear dad, they're going to do it. All I had to do was look at my two sons, and I have full custody of my sons.
Yeah.
And I've raised them since diapers. They're 20 years old now, about to be 21 and 19, but I raised them since diapers. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I would look at them a certain way, and they would just get right. And I have a daughter that I love very dearly that was taken away from me by a woman. But I don't hate her for that. But here's the thing. When it comes to this little girl, this friend that I was with, that I'm talking about, hey, it's some noise going around the background, Brother Gabar. I don't know what that is.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I apologize. It should be.
Sir.
Okay, you should be good. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, like I said, I have two sons. I have a daughter. You know what I mean? I'm very transparent, so I'm gonna kind of put a muzzle on some of the things that I say on YouTube. But but I do have two boys and a little girl, so I know how it goes. My sons are grown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like this. Okay, when it comes to my man that I'm telling you about, this brother that we're gonna call my man question mark was trying to force this little girl to love him, but she never would. He was trying to force her to do what he wanted her to do, but she would do it when she wanted to do it. Why? She didn't respect him. She didn't come out of him. It ain't in her to jump when he say jump. It ain't in her to have fear towards him because she's not his seed.
Exactly.
So as a result, him and the mother, this sister, they were getting into it. Because she didn't like the way he was handling her daughter. Right. And she would say, you're not going to do this. So she would take up for her daughter as opposed to taking up for her man. I wonder why.
Exactly.
I wonder why. But if that was her actual child's father, guess what? That cut down on a lot of arguments and domestic violence.
Right.
If that was if he was the child's real father, all he had to do was look at the little girl. Yes, sir, daddy.
Exactly.
She's going to be quick to do it. So it's like this, Brother Gabar. It's like this. When it comes to this topic, these sisters, man, I'm gonna say it straight up. In order to address this, now we about to get deep. Somebody might as well just play the music. You know the music from Stranger Things when it comes on?
Yeah.
You might as well play that right now because it's about to get real murky. I'm about to go there. So here we go. When we talk about a sister having a child, it involves her having sex with a man. When she has sex with a man, they become one. But hold on. Dare I say again, I'm going to say this again. Get your Strong's Concordance. Go to the word Onah, O-W-N-A-H, Onah. In the modern Hebrew, in the ancient Hebrew, it is pronounced Wah-nah, which means sexual intercourse, a.k.a. sexual cohabitation, i.e. marriage. Sex is marriage. That's why you got Timbaland and Nelly Furtado out there back in 2012. Promiscuous girl, I'm all alone. Promiscuous means whorish. Right. You got a little 4 or 5 year old kid in the back of a truck with her dad on a Sunday morning eating McDonald's French fries with her toys, and the music come on, and she's singing about being a promiscuous girl, being a whorish girl, and she don't even know what that means. Yeah. A woman is designed to lay with one man and one man forever. You understand what I'm saying? When she lays, when you are fit, when I laid with a woman at 15, and this woman was, I was what, like 16, and she was 15. I didn't know anything about sex. Yeah. This woman took advantage of me, man. I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah. Okay, and quote unquote broke my virginity because she had already had sex with multiple men. Me not knowing that when you have sex with a woman for the first time, if she is a virgin and if I am a virgin, and when we have sex, we are married. Get over it. Right. Stop hiding it. Yeah. Stop hiding it. Yeah. So what does that mean? If I break up with her at 15 and she has sex with 5 or 6 guys, before she gets to 10th grade. And then through 10th grade, she goes through her quote-unquote whore stage. Whore stage, W-H-O-R-E, because I know that this thing is censored. We're men of the Lord. Her whore stage. And by the time you meet her when she's 26 or when she's 30 years old, she's ready to settle down. She done rode the carousel. Now it's time for her to, she's had her fun. I've had my fun. I'm ready to sit down. Somebody to love me for me. Sister, you got 20 bodies on you. Mm-hmm. You got multiple sperm cells within you that have affected your soul. And the definition of soul in the Greek is your mind, will, emotions, and intellect. Dare I say, another word for your mind is your brain. Your soul is your brain. In the Bible, another word for your soul is your heart. Why do you think in the Bible, Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9, the Most High says that the heart is wicked and is wicked and desperately deceitful above all things? Who can know it? He's not talking about that physical vessel in your chest. That's what scientists call the heart. Right. The pump, blood pressure, heart rate in your heart. That's what they call the heart. God calls the heart the mind, which is your brain, which is what we also call the soul, because that's where your intellect, emotions, willpower, all that comes from there. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is these women's minds are affected by 10, 20 different men, different sperm cells, different personality, multiple personality, bipolar, multiple personality disorder, identity crises, mood changes. And then when they're 30, 34 years old, they get with us and we got to deal with it. And you wonder why the domestic violence level is so high within our community. They're out of their mind. Yeah. And I'm not saying all women. I've got a woman right now who's a good woman, but I had to choose wisely. So what I want to say in conclusion, real quick, I want to say this real quick. What happens is these sisters end up having sex with multiple men. Yeah. They have sex the first time when they're like 14 or 15 years old. I know because I'm from the gutter. I'm from the trenches, boy. I'm from the trenches. I know how I get down. I had a friend named Joanne Wright, bruh. She was 11 years old. She got pregnant at 11. Wow. She had her first child at 12. Wow. She had 3 children, but she's dead now. Rest her heart. She was such a beautiful woman. I used to love Joanne Wright. That was my baby. She lived on Fifth Avenue, on Fifth Street, East Fifth Street. And all my partners back home, they listening to this right now. They know exactly what I'm talking about. She dead right now, but she had multiple children before she was 16. Multiple men, 20 years old, 24, 25 years old, having sex with this little girl and stuff like that, man. Yeah. Impregnating this little girl. She didn't know no better because her father wasn't in her life, because her mother ran him away. Yeah. So check this out. I'm going to show you something. What happens is this. When these women have sex for the first time, you can take it how you want. Unless you can disprove the Hebrew, which is God's language, the Lashon Kodash, and the modern Hebrew, the Lashon HaKodesh, the holy tongue. Unless you can disprove that language, you cannot disprove this, sugar. The Bible says that when it goes to the definition of sex, that's marriage, bro. Yeah. Oh, no. In the Strong's Concordance Hebrew, type it in. It is marriage. She has sex with that man the first time, that's her husband, whether she believe it or not. She's tired of him because he's lame, or she found another dude that's cuter, and if she has sex with him, guess what? That's adultery. Yeah. Guess what she is? An adulteress. Guess what that means? The next man that she has sex with, and the man after that, 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 guess what she is? She is an adulteress. And any man that sleeps with her has committed adultery, whether he knows it or not, which is why they don't want to talk about their body count. Exactly. And let me ask you a question. And let me ask you a question. Yes, sir. Come on with it. Yes, sir. Do you think it's a situation that we could turn this around? Yes. Or is it too late and there's no turning back? Oh, great question. Can I go in, please? Please. All right. Yes. Okay. So it's like this. I agree with you. It's too late for the wicked. But for the righteous, they got some hope. They right on time. And I feel that talking about conversations like this on a platform like this will weed out the weak. It will distinguish the weak from the tares. If you're the wicked, you're out of here. You're done. We know what it says in Matthew, what's going to happen to y'all, what's going to happen to the tares. But for the weak, for the ones that are trying to seek righteousness, that can humble themselves, them women have a chance, man. Because it's like this. It's like this when it comes to this. Me and my lady, we got baptized in the name of Ahaya. And I dare somebody to come at me and say that ain't his name. And I'm not disrespecting anybody else. I know the history. I had great teachers. I was taught by the most powerful men on earth. And I'm on the phone right now with one of them. I've got multiple notebooks. I am a knowledge freak. So with that being said, I know the truth of Ahia. So me and my woman was baptized in the name of Ahia and the name of Yeshaya and the Rawak, according to Exodus chapter 3, according to the Dead Sea Scrolls, according to the Hebrew. I can tell you where all that stuff come from. Yahweh, all I can tell you where all that come from. I ain't gonna get into it. But this is what I'm saying. When me and my lady confessed our sins and was baptized by our beloved brother down there in South Carolina, and we came out that water.
All right, brother. You'll be calling right back. Call back that same number. So it looks like it could be something going on with your phone. So just keep calling back, and then I know you'll call back in a few seconds. The caller from Boston, you could try to call back as well, and I could bring you in as well. So, Brother Judah, you could call back on my personal line, and then we could take it from there. But let me just say this, because Brother Judah brought a lot of good points. And I want to hear the people's thoughts on this. Okay, there we go. We got Brother Judah back. Brother Judah, we got you back. But I want to ask the audience a question. Do you guys believe it's too late for women in America? Give me a thumbs up for yes. It's too late, or a thumbs down. Matter of fact, give me a 1 if it's too late. Give me a 2 if it's still a chance to turn this thing around. I want to hear from the audience, so please comment. Number 1, we can turn this thing around. Number 2, it's too late. Get out and save your kids and your family, but it's too late to turn this around. I want to hear the audience opinions on this. But Brother Judah, you were saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great point. And I want to say this last part because I'm going to get to it. I think I'm doing a little bit better tonight, Gabar. I'm focusing because.
Yeah, right.
Okay, right? I was like, man, I got to do better. All right, so with that being said, yeah, me and my lady, we went into the water and we came out together. But before we went into that water, we confessed our sins, bro. We did. And I know that I was a whore. And I only have a small body count. I was a good guy. I was the one bringing the teddy bears and the I love you cards to school. My dudes know me. Pretty boy Ed. That's what they used to call me. Muscle man. That's what they used to call me. You know what I mean? I used to love the girls, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm going to be real with you. They didn't like me because I was kind of lame. Even though I was a pretty cute dude, they was like, he's lame. He's just with this lover boy stuff. They wanted the gangster.
Yeah.
But anyway, but that being said, I was still contaminated because it doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman. You slept with multiple people, bro. You have committed adultery. I'm telling you straight up because sex is marriage. And the world is not preaching that. And I don't know why they're so scared. Yeah. I don't believe in Christianity. Christianity can do nothing for me. Everything about it is a lie. Need to be burnt to the ground. You understand what I mean? Yeah. Even their whole idea of marriage, that is not marriage, brother.
Yeah.
Because if I was a pastor in a Christian church, I said, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Let me go into the Strong's Concordance. I'm going to show you what sex is. I'm going to show you what marriage is. And then I'm going to show you what you did. You got bodies on you, sister. You got bodies on you, brothers. What does that mean? You, brother, if you had sex with a woman before you met this woman that you currently are with, you are an adulterer. Sister, if you had sex with a man before you met this man that you are with, you are an adulteress. So before I, quote unquote, marry both of y'all and put y'all in a nice, pretty white dress, even though the dress should really be black, that's what color it really should be, black. Uncleanliness. Not white, not pure. Stop lying to these doggone people. If I was a pastor, say, you know what? Listen, we all have fallen short from the glory of God, as well as me. Let's get there together. Y'all need to be baptized. You need to be baptized in the name of the God of the Hebrews. You and your woman that you want to be your wife. For what, Pastor? Because you are an adulterer and she is an adulteress. Christ even said it. You are a generation of adulterers. Be real. Get real. Stop lying.
Yeah.
Go into the water, come out, be clean, and then when you and your woman come out that water, the whoredom on you, brother, the whoredom that was on you, sister, you are forgiven according to God's promise in the Bible. And we know what Romans 3 and 4 says. Let God be true, but every man a lie.
Yeah, yeah.
So I believe that. And then when me and that woman lay down, we are husband and wife, and God will bless it.
Well, amen to that.
That's what happened with me and my woman. When we came out of the water, we were clean. I didn't sleep with another woman. She didn't sleep with another man. So when we came together physically, that was marriage.
Right.
Now, I understand the paperwork part of it and the honorable part, and I totally get that. And you're 100% correct. Anyone who says that's proper order, 100%. And I have my flaws. I'll say that. But that does not take away from what marriage is according to God. Adam and Eve did not have a marriage certificate. Neither did they have a wedding ring. Neither did they have a pastor. Neither did they have a honeymoon.
Yeah.
They became one sexually and became husband and wife. The same way Rebecca and Isaac did. The same way Sarah and Abraham did. But these women did not have bodies on them. These women that we having sex with nowadays belong to other men. They are adulterers. They are adulteresses. So when we lay down with these women, knowing that they're unknowingly or knowingly, and they're adulteresses, we are adulterers by default. So we can be together 3, 4, 5 years, go to Disney World. We can go to San Francisco Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge. We can go to Dubai. We can get on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and front. We can take pictures. Guess what? We both are full of sin, and God is not going to bless your marriage. Why do you think the divorce rate is so high?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Brother Judah, let me ask you another question, and I want to get your input.
Yes, sir.
We have you 39, correct?
Yes, sir, I am.
39. I'm 50. I am the Generation Z, I think, or X. I'm Generation X. You're Generation Z, I think. I'm not sure, but and then you have the millennials, which is like my daughter's generation, those that were born in the year 2000. I think the ones that has it worse, and the ones that are Satan is targeting or is getting the worst of the propaganda that we experienced when we were kids, right? But we got lucky, right? We were able to not fall for the Kool-Aid and wake up and so forth, so on. But kids that grew up in the year 2000, 2001, 2002, the millennials, these days I can't even relate to them in many ways. And that's the generation I think that it may be too late. Or maybe that generation could turn this around. Maybe we are the generation that it's too late for us. And maybe the next generation is going to turn things around. Or do you believe, is it too late for America? Or, it's our generation. Doesn't matter. No one's going to turn this around because it's just too powerful. That's the way I feel. That's the way I feel that at this point, men have to come together and start preparing, leaving this country, or having exit strategy just in case we need to. Because I don't think we're turning this around. And so,
I agree.
So the question is, okay, where do you see, if that's the case, because a lot of it is resources, right? I said, okay, get a wife overseas, okay, but you need resources for that, right? You need to travel, you need to get yourself out, and so for someone and understand. And this is because you find a woman that's overseas doesn't mean she's perfect. It doesn't mean you should pick the first one who likes you. You have to still do some research. I still believe there's still good women in America. However, they're hard to find. And I think we have to stop making excuses for them and ourselves, those that don't fit those criteria, those bullet points that I put up. But can you think a man take 6 out of the 7, 5 out of the 7, 4 out of the 7, and find them that she doesn't hit those situations? Maybe she has 2 kids by 2 different men. Do you think we could turn that person around?
I please answer?
Yeah, or do you think let's not even risk taking the risk of turning things around. It's too late, or the risk is too great. Do you think which one of the 7 we could be loose with? If you think we could be loose with one of them, or do you believe we should stick our guns and say we're gonna stay by the 7 and not break one rule out of the 7 too, in regards of considering a sister in America? Where are you? Well, if you have to, choose one, or you believe there's not one we should be loose with out of the 7 points, bullet points.
Yes, sir. Okay, so it's like this. And to answer that, I want to make sure that I do a little cleanup with the mop right now, the spiritual mop. I'm about to clean up something that I said earlier because you asked me something, and I want to do better by answering it directly. So with that being said, I'm going to say this again in case the brothers and sisters out there didn't hear me. It's too late for the wicked, bro, in my opinion. The righteous women have a chance. The wicked women, it's over. Their mind is too polluted, and the whoredom is too rampant in America. Why would I waste time here when I can do research in places when, like the other week, last podcast, I mentioned how in Singapore, Bangkok, Indonesia, those are the highest. Those areas have the highest virginity rates on planet Earth. You have women. I think one area like Singapore was like 81%, 83% virgins or something like that to that extent. You have women that have never touched a man, that are looking for a man. Like you say, who cares about hypergamy? Hypergamy is a part of evolutionary biology. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But if you got a woman who's a virgin, who's never touched a man, who hasn't been through 30 different bodies, and this is the thing about it, they glorify it. Oh yeah, I got bodies. Yeah, F that Negro. I F that N-I-G-G-A. That's how they talk. I know a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But I don't associate with them. So these women over there don't talk that language, bro. It's unclean spiritually. Yeah. It's unclean physically. It's unhealthy mentally. It's disgusting if you ask me. So these sisters over there in Singapore, they need to be the one walking around with their head up. They need to be the one. If somebody gonna be arrogant, it needs to be them.
Yeah.
It don't need to be a bunch of whorish people, men or women, walking around like they some damn body. When we all just a bunch of sinners who are afraid to admit the truth. I'm not afraid of it. So when you go in America, all these people, these women in America, I'm not saying every single one, but there are so many women in America that are caught up with that Babylonian spirit, that demonic spirit. Like when we talk about the specters and chittims, those demons, where you think they went? If I was a demon, guess what? I would get inside of a female. Why? It's easier. Duh.
Yeah.
Duh. So yes, the wicked women in America, it's over with. And you're going to reap what you sow. The righteous women in America who can humble themselves, relinquish the spirit of pride, submit to a man, they have a chance. Because my woman, she submitted. My woman relinquished, she denounced feminism. She relinquished the spirit of pride. And she's right here. And this is my woman. And I'm proud of her. But it took a lot of work to get her here. But she does not go against the Most High to the best of her ability. She tries, bro. But she's from another country, Brazil. So unfortunately, it's not as bad in other places. But when you come, like I said again, for the wicked, it's over. But for the righteous, they have a chance.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like with the women here in America, with the sisters here in America, it's like this, man. It's the spirit of Eve in disguise. They wear the gowns, they wear the white robes, they wear the little head wraps, but they be devils, bro. It's feminism. It's like a lemon. It looks good on the inside, but it's terrible on the outside. It looks good on the outside, but it's terrible on the inside. I met a woman, and I'm gonna call her out. I ain't gonna say her name, but she was back home. I take that back. I ain't no monster. When I met her, she was talking about Jehovah, aka YHWH, aka YHVH, aka Yahweh, aka Yahweh, Jehovah in the English, whatever you want to call him, the God of the Masons, whatever you want to call him. I know who he is. My enemy. We beefing. It's on. That guy. The spirit that came from that devil and his demonic army is inside of our sisters. That explains the activity. The specters and the chittims are not just flying around in airplanes and on leaves and trees. No, they're inside of humans. They're inside of humans. If I was a demon, I'm looking at the strongest nation on earth, the mighty Israelites. They bring the light into the earth. I'm not worried about the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Buddhists, the Hindus, the Taoists, the Arabics, the people who practice Islam, the Catholics. I got them already. I need to get Israelites.
Yeah.
I don't care about Moab. I don't care about Ammon. I don't care about Ishmael. I don't care about none of them. I don't care about Esau. I want Jacob.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want Israel. So let me see. Between the male and the female, which one is easier? The female. Duh. So which tribe is the strongest? Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom. Okay, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom. Southern Kingdom, that was Judea. Oh, the King's tribe, Judah.
Yeah.
Boom. I need to attack the King's tribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So between the male and the female within the King's tribe, who am I going to attack? The man or the woman? The woman. Why? Because if I take her out, I take the man out by default.
Yeah.
All I got to do is get to her, and she going to knock it. She going to take him out. And we can maintain our rulership. This is an attack on our sisters, but they won't listen.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
Straight like that. It's a demonic attack. These are demons masquerading as holy people. And like you say, you bring out the scriptures of the Lord, their horns start coming out. If you're so holy, why'd you run away from this man's channel when this man brought out the truth in the Bible? Left that man like that, as though that man saying something that's against the Lord.
And sister, but you need to understand that women, sisters, you guys are your own worst enemy. You have to admit to yourself and say to yourself, I got to protect myself from myself. And you have to put trust in the scriptures. And when you read something that doesn't go right with your spirit, that's the time for you to start checking yourself and say, okay, I got to rebuke this demon. And this is the reason why it is not good to put women in leadership position, because mentally you guys sometimes don't want to make those tough decisions that men do usually do those tough decisions. And women have to just stop with the judge, because I feel sometimes women are just more like, they're like jealous of men. They're like envious of men that God gave men this particular honor, right? And they feel, well, I could do it better. God is working with me too. You know, I'm a daughter of Zion, blah, blah, blah. And it's almost like it becomes a competition. And sisters don't see it. They don't realize it. They don't, you know, it's like sometimes I used to get this scenario with sisters all the time when I used to be in the church. It's like, you know, elder, what about the sisters? What the sisters could do? And a lot of it comes because the men are in the forefront, and they just simply get jealous and envious, and they want to do that. And it's a spirit of competition, and sisters, that is going to destroy you. And I'm having these shows and I'm having these conversations and I'm showing these videos showing that this is not just us talking. Even regular dudes are deciding, I'm going to go to Japan. I'm going to go overseas to give them some for white, because American women ain't no good. I'm trying to expose you guys, or I want you guys to see yourself in the mirror one day. I want you guys to start saying, you know what, maybe these guys are right. Maybe we are horrible mates. But what I'm also telling brothers, don't fall for the desire to try to help these sisters to the point that it will destroy you. Don't reward bad sisters by, I'm going to work on this sister. I'm going to try to handle her. I'm going to try to control the situation. She's been through a lot. I could change her. Why are you rewarding someone that doesn't want to do it? Rather, you just going overseas and rewarding someone who is willing to do it. So I this is not about hate and me being a woman hater and all that. I'm sad. I feel sorry for these sisters. I really do. Because I know, you know, they're so deep into their hurt and their pain and this demonic possession. And you're right. I don't think it's necessarily their past is allowing them to be possessed by these demons. It's their wickedness. They don't want to be submissive. They sometimes glorify their past and glorify their pain to justify their wickedness. You know, if their ex-boyfriend was, you know, this, if he was, you know, used to raise his boys, oh, he used to beat the crap out of me. But they would never tell you that I used to throw things at his face. I used to try to slash his tire. They never tell you that. They only tell you when he gets upset and gets angry. I'm not justifying violence, but there is an epidemic of dysfunctional women walking around thinking that they're normal. And they're walking around thinking man is the problem. Man needs to conform to this new way of thinking. We ain't doing that.
Come on.
We ain't doing that. You could convince another sucker. You could get one of those 25% men that are still going to churches. You could marry those suckers. But real man, we ain't going to fall for the trick. And at the end, sisters, you are the one that's going to lose. Because we got choices now. Men always have more choices than women. Men were always the prize. Men were always the one that, okay, I could get a man to sleep with me, but I got to get my best foot forward to keep a man. To have a man give me a ring and give me a his last name. Sisters, you guys are going the wrong path. The sister that I was talking about earlier, you're in the wrong path, sister. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. You're wrong. You're not in the right path. And if I'd rather tell you and offend you than not tell you and let it be, and you end up in the pits of hell.
Hello.
We have to start. This is exactly and precisely why that scripture in the book of the Apocrypha says that an austere man is better than a courteous woman. Because you have a lot of courteous women over here, like the sister. She seems like a very nice woman. But this whole thing of like, well, I think God allowed polygamy, but he condoned it, but that was not part of his will. What scripture is that, sister? Or is that only your emotions? Is that only your jealousy, your pride? Because you can't fathom in your mind that you're not enough for one man. And I'm not saying monogamy is wrong. Because that's not against the sin of God, against the will of God either. But just talking about it sparked so much conversation on these sisters that I realize they're all full of crap. Sister, you're not tricking me with this head covering. You're not tricking me with this Ahaya Shemata. You're not thinking me with God bless you. You're not thinking about, with these prayers that you put on social media. I could smell you from a mile away. And because no man is telling you, no one is telling you, it's just you ain't supposed to be contending with men on social media. You ain't supposed to be debating scriptures with men on social media. That is asserting authority over a man. That's not your place. What say you, brother?
Oh, Lord. Come on with it. Perfect, beautiful. I can't say it better. I want to add to this, though. Because, I love to pull up the scriptures. I'm like, yeah, hold on. Okay, you just said about a austere man. Luke chapter 19, verse 21, family.
Yeah.
For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and repeatest that thou didst not sow. And reapest that thou didst not sow.
Yeah.
So I look at it like this, man. When it comes to these sisters dealing with austere men like ourselves, you're going to reap what you sow. Because dare I say, men like me, men like you, and brothers that's in the chat, we are a feminist worst nightmare. Guess what? It ain't no cursing going on up in here. None of that on your podcast. There's order here.
Yeah.
But there's masculinity here. And we are unapologetic with it. That's what women respect. Because guess what? It takes us to snap them out of that false perception of reality.
Yeah.
It takes us to break the curse. It takes us to destroy that witchcraft. John chapter 8, verse 32. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. How can they be free if we don't tell them the truth? So if you want to be technical, the men that are not telling the women, we are the reason that they are in prison mentally.
Yeah.
We are the reason. Shame on you. So with that being said, it's like this. I want to hit you with something else that you said earlier. I want to talk about two things. I'm a yield, Brother Gabar. Okay. Men are marvelous. I'm going to say that again. Men are marvelous. Okay? That's the number one thing.
Yeah, we don't hear that enough. We don't hear that enough.
Yeah, I respect my brother.
We get up every morning, gotta go to work when we don't want to. You know we don't want to. We rather stay home and chill. If it's a noise downstairs, we're grabbing the gun and we're taking that risk.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
And men are not appreciated in this country. Men are not appreciated in this world. Men are expected you to simply just work hard and die and don't ask for anything. Those days are changing, sisters. Those days are changing. And I had a dream years ago, and I want to let you finish your point. That
yes, sir.
When I was with the church, and I told this to the brothers in the church, I said, there's going to come a time that brothers are going to be leaving once we start leaving America, and brothers start realizing that sisters overseas are treating them better, they're going to leave these women alone in America, and women are going to feel left out. Your pride, sister, is going to destroy you. That pride, is and I want to say the number one tribe that is acting up is that Judah tribe. She is corrupting the other tribes. That's why I tell my Latina sisters, man, don't get caught up in acting all black and all sassy. Leave that bull crap alone, mama. That's not your nature. Don't get caught up with that nonsense. Being an it girl and being on, no. Stop all this, neck cripping and all that. It's not good. It's not good. Stop dating thugs and thinking that's the real man. That man, that thug, is the little boy that was raised by a no good woman. That's that.
Hello.
The thug is that kid. Now he's a man, and he hates women because that kid heard all his life by his mother. Your father ain't ish. Your brother ain't ish. You ain't ish. You ain't nothing. And now he has all that hate. Now he's dating you. Thugs are the most emotional creatures in the world. A thug will just shoot you just because you looked at him wrong. That's emotions, Doc. That's not a man. Sisters, you got to stop with this pride, man. You got to stop with this pride. You got to stop it. It's going to destroy you. And men are not going to be sticking around talking about, this is my walk, I'm going to be patient with my woman. Listen, brothers, leave these women alone.
Yeah.
And if you're in certain states, find out how young, because sometimes when you have these divorces and you have these scenarios, and what have you, if you're a man, you're not being respected by your wife. She never respected, she never will. Leave that woman. Don't give your best year to a woman who doesn't appreciate you, who's going to manipulate you. Is always using victimization, can never let go of stuff that you did 10 years ago. And they will never let go because they always need a reason to be upset about. That's the trick. That's what I tell brothers. The worst thing you could do to a woman who is controlling and bossy is cheat on them. Why? They're never going to let that go. They're going to use that for the rest of your life. You know what you did to me 20 years ago? You slept with that woman? I'm telling you. That's the worst thing you could do to her. And that's the best thing that could happen to her, because now she knows she wasn't giving you some. She knows that you would be, she's going to just use that situation to just control your emotions. Thank you, brother Army Carter. Thank you, brother, for the support. I appreciate you.
Brother Gabar, you mind if I go in on a point real quick that you made? I got two.
Absolutely. Let me just read this super chat. It says, "Bless you."
Yes, sir.
Elder Gabar, your video have helped me a ton. Could you give me some advice? A 22-year-old man that has semen retention, very good, proud of that, that wants to find a wife and wants to be a family man. And how do you deal with women at the workplace? What are your top 5 principles? Okay. Well, that's a good question, brother. That's a good question. The first thing, brother, what you want to do is surround yourself with men that are experienced than you, more experienced than you.
Mm-hmm.
One way that you could be exposed to men is join the meeting we're going to be having next week, Man Going God's Way. Send an email to IAMFITPodcast@gmail.com, and then you could be part of that meeting. We could have that discussion. You should get yourself big brothers, men that are older than you, wiser than you, and they could guide you right. Because you may see that, you're 22 years old, you're young, and things of that nature. There may be a young girl who's interested in you, and so forth, so on. Have men around you that could educate you and give you the pitfall of life, and you could, to make sure you don't do these mistakes. But you're already winning. You're 22 years old. You're working. You're dealing with semen retention. Okay, make sure you hit the gym. Make sure you become your best self. And send me an email. We could talk. We could have a more one-on-one conversation. Even if you don't want to be part of, or you cannot join the Man Going God's Way, send an email. We could talk. We could have a more in-depth conversation. But one of the things that you should do is don't trust your naiveness, meaning you're naive. You don't know nothing. So your view is going to come from a place of inexperience. So you should test your ideas with someone who is experienced, right? And then you could go back and forth with that situation, because now you're dealing with someone who did exactly what you're thinking of doing, and now you could say, okay, I got more data now, because the best thing is data. Another thing, brother, yes, get your passport. Okay, follow up. You're the Most High. Get your passport. Absolutely, brother, and start traveling. Start traveling. Look at different culture, because a lot of it, what's problem is that this country has culture out women out of marriage. Culturally, they're not fit for marriage because they wasn't raised right. And studies that shows that after you a certain kind of, once your woman is exposed in a early teens, late teens, early 20s, a certain way, it's very hard to turn it around. Very hard. Because the way studies that show that even from the age of 5, you're becoming a sponge, and you're learning so much that certain traits, certain personalities, certain things that you are exposed to, it's hard to reverse it. So sisters and brothers, if you're around your kids, you should not be cursing around your kids. You should not be acting all ghetto around your kids. Even if you are ghetto, don't act ghetto around your kids. When you speak to your kids, speak to them in a very mature, intelligent tone. Don't speak to them with boo boo, gaga, woo. No, speak to them with a clear, precise tone, because they're learning. This is the sponge stage. So you could talk about all that I believe in God and reading the Bible, but if they have seen you cursing, yelling, drunk, arguing with your husband, you could do all that head covering as much as you want in the weekends. It ain't gonna work. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, brother. Any last thought?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great points. And I want to say this real quick, because I wanted to touch on the thing about men being marvelous.
Yeah. And
let me just get to that first, because the Most High is above all. All right. So it's like this. And I got you on speakerphone too, y'all. So if I'm a little loud, hey.
You're good. No, you're good. You're coming loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let me go here. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Let me go here. All right. Boom. Okay, so there are over 37 passages, over 37 occurrences in the Holy Bible in which the word marvelous is used, ladies and gentlemen. Right? So let's use one in the Old Testament. Let's go into the Tanakh, y'all. Right? The Old Testament. First Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. And let me get this in the KJV, as a matter of fact. First Chronicles 16 and 9. Give me about 6 seconds, fellas, people. First Chronicles 16 and 9. First Chronicles 16 and 9.
Take your time.
Damn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. Yeah. All right. So First Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. The Most High says, "Sing unto him, sing unto him, sing psalms unto him, talk ye of his wondrous or marvelous works." His wondrous or marvelous works. Wondrous and marvelous are synonymous with one another. In the New KJV, it says marvelous. In the KJV, which I know that's what we predominantly use, and we all understand why we're in the truth, KJV says wondrous. Wonderful and marvelous are the same thing.
Yeah.
So the Most High is wonderful. He is marvelous. He is marvelous. He is wonderful. First Chronicles 16 and 24, and I'll just read this out of KJV, the New KJV, for time's sake. First Chronicles 16 and 24. Declare his glory among the nations, his marvelous works among all people. Marvelous. So I'm pretty sure I probably pushed the button out there. Marvelous. What you mean, man? I'm marvelous. We're marvelous.
Yeah.
Because our God is marvelous.
Yeah.
Even Marvin Hagler was marvelous.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The boxer, y'all. I don't know if the young cats know who you don't know about. But anyway.
If you're under 25, you don't know what I'm talking about. Who's marvelous? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Word. So this is why men are marvelous. I wrote some notes because I take this serious. The Hoover Dam, men built that. The Suez Canal, men built that.
Yeah.
The Panama Canal, men built that. The Golden Gate Bridge, men built that. The Ravenel Bridge in South Carolina, Charleston, men built that. Skyscrapers in New York City, men built that. Roads, railroads, knocking down trees, knock down forests to make roads for the women to drive their cars on, to talk crap about us. Men died falling off the Empire State Building. And I'm talking about white and black.
Yeah.
Poor men, white and black, to provide for their families. No helmets, fell to their death, man, from skyscrapers in New York, trying to provide for the wife and the children. Mm-hmm. Men died on the Hoover Dam, bruh. Men died building the Suez Canal and the Panama Canal, bruh.
Yeah.
Fell to their death, only to be forgotten.
And see, and funny, women are not fighting for those jobs. They don't want equality for those jobs.
Right.
They just want equality for the sweet jobs. You know, the CEOs.
Yeah.
The manager, corporate district manager, with the big office. They want those jobs. But they don't want the merchant marines. They don't want the construction workers. They don't want and when they do want those jobs, society have to bend over, shift, change the standard, lower the standard. Look it up. They lowered the standard for women for the fire department. They lowered the standard for military because they will not have any women in those positions. Now, yes, can you find a woman that perhaps could do the chin-ups and the push-ups and everything else, whatever, pulling? I think they have to put a body of 200 pounds for a fire department. A woman couldn't do that. Can you find a woman to do that? Yes, but they're very rare. And we are weakening ourselves as a society, militarily, effectively, or the best person qualified for the job. We are being affected because we want to cater to this feminine energy. Sister, you know what you're best at? What jobs you want to do? What jobs you want to focus on? If you want to, focus on jobs that study shows the jobs that women usually go for, that they want, usually nursing, teaching, some form of nurturing type of jobs. Those are the jobs that you bid for. If you don't want to be a housewife, right? And if you want to have a career and you want to have a husband, guess what? You should embrace polygamy. You should embrace for your husband to have another wife so that she could take care of the house issues if you want to go out there and become a career woman. You can't do both. Either you're gonna get a sit man that you're gonna eventually resent and leave. 80% of the marriages are led by women. The divorce. 80% of the divorce are led by women, and the reason why, because women pick men that they don't really want, they settle for, because the man that they want, they're not willing to change for that man. They're not willing to accept what it takes to be with that man. So let me grab this sucker over here. I could manipulate him. But those days are over, sisters. Those days are over. And I'm trying to spare you in a time of and maybe, you know what, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe women are not, they don't have it that bad. Okay, they can't find a man, they single, right? They could perhaps get a boy toy to have sex with them, right? They could probably find somebody. Okay. And they need protection. They got the police, 911. Right? They got, maybe they say, you know what, we don't need you anymore. And maybe right now, they probably say, listen, we're good, Gabar. But what if the Bible is true? What if society is going to collapse? What if 911 is no longer going to be functional and working? What if the supermarkets are going to run out of food? That's what I'm saying. Do you want, I'm not talking about retirement and yada, 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 and you don't want to die alone, yada, yada, yada. Apparently, that does not going to scare you enough for you to say, okay, let me get my act together and submit myself under a man. Because apparently, women are not, that is not scary enough for them to get a man. But what if the supermarkets are closed? What if the police station is closed? What if society is collapsed and we have to fend for ourselves? It's going to happen.
Prisoners are released from prison.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to happen, but that's biblical prophecy, and you could take that to the bank. And that's why I'm trying to, save women from that collapse. So dying alone with 20 cats is not too bad, and you could deal with that. Okay, what about that? You may have to eat your cats to survive. Would that motivate you? What if people are going to be eating you to survive? Would that motivate you? Will you maybe want to say, maybe I should get a man? I'm trying to save your life, sisters. This is not about male machismo. I know there's a lot of shows out there talking about, the men's, stratosphere and women culture and the Kevin Samuels and the Andrew Tate. And shout out to all these brothers doing what they're doing. I'm here to try to save people's lives. This ego that you women are dealing with is out of control. And let this show be a record. Let this show be a testimony. That you can look back and say, you know what, Gabar was right. What say you, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And hey, well said. I want to make these last little points right here. I'm gonna go fast, and I think it's gonna link into what you're saying. Yeah. It's like and I want to put this out there for the people. I'm not a singer, y'all, but I'm a pretty silly guy. I'm a happy dude because I'd rather be happy. We all have pasts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mine, I don't want to get into all that, but I'd rather smile and I'd rather listen to happy music and joke around and stuff like that sometimes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to listen to gangster rap. I don't want to see the hood. I don't want to see the project. I don't want to see nothing about no guns.
Yeah.
No. I mean, well, of course, unless we protecting ourselves. And I don't want to see nothing about no street stuff. None of that impressed me. I don't want to see no more gold teeth, no more gold grills.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no more sagging pants. I don't want to see none of that. I don't want to see no more jail cells. I don't want to see the county no more. Okay, countless times. I don't want to see none of that. I am not a criminal. I am a father. I am a man of God. Okay, I am a husband. I am a servant. I'm a younger brother. I'm a sibling. You know what I mean? That's what I want to be. I'm a daddy. You know, I'm a follower of great men. I'm a student. That's what I like all that. I don't like all the negative stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because guess what? When you're from those areas, people know what you about. A person ain't even got to see my face. And they can hear the way I talk over the phone. They know what time it is with me. When you see me, it's confirmed. All you got to do is look at my face. You can look at a man's eyes and tell what he's been through. So I want to talk about happy stuff, love. So I don't want people to think just because I be around here singing and baby come back.
Yeah. I did a little clip on that last week. It was funny.
I heard it. It was hilarious at the end. That was too funny. I was dying. I was at work laughing. I was like, oh, no, go ball there. That was too cool. But yeah, that was cool. But yeah, you know, it was a song. Speaking of singing, y'all, this is what I said on this. When I was a kid, that was a song. And I know people back in growing up in the 80s and the early 90s, what have you, they remember this song from like elementary school. And it was these little annoying little Edomite kids. These little white kids. They were so annoying. They were cute. They were adorable. Stinking adorable. But it was like, anything you can do, I can do greater.
Right.
I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And I'm like, what the? It didn't hit me until later. And suppose our sisters had that mentality. And suppose that mentality came from Eve, being jealous of Adam.
Yeah, they exactly had that.
Suppose
That song described perfectly the attitude that women have today. Anything you could do, I could do better. Anything you could do, I could do it too, only better. That's the spirit of women. Women are envious. They're upset that just when it's all said and done, men and women are not equal. You will think, ladies, that if God created man to be above women, do you think he's going to make a superior or an inferior species? Let me repeat this again. If God ordained that man will be the head of the woman, do you think he's going to create the man equal to the woman? Or he's going to create man superior to the woman? We're physically stronger. We're mentally stronger. We could think under pressure. We could think in stressful situations. Okay, we're more logical. We don't allow ourselves to get all bent out of shape with our emotions, unless we were raised by women and we picked up that spirit. But that's a different conversation. But men generally are better and everything else except one thing that we cannot do, and that is to bring children to life. That's what God gave you, sisters. That's what God gave you this ability to do, to bring forth the next generation and to become and to be your superior being, because a man is the closest thing to the image of God.
Hello.
We're just better than you, sister. We're just better version. There's certain things you cannot do because you was not hardwired to do those things. And the stats are showing. And this is not here to make you feel bad about yourself or to globe or pop my collar. This is not about this. You're going against the grain. You're fighting against the life source, the being. I'm referring to man. That's going to help you at the end. And right now, you got your 911, and you got your, your benefits, and I got this program for women, single mothers. They're gonna help me out, and they're gonna give me a bonus. I'm gonna start my own business with no money down. You're now in love with the system. The system is in love with you. Granted. But what if that system is no longer there? When that happens, will you be this confident about I could do everything you could do. I could do better.
Mm-hmm.
When things collapse, gender roles get clear and precise in a community. There's no arguments about gender roles when society collapses. When we're in the middle of survival, there is no, well, what should men do and women do? Should the women do night security or the men do it? Should men go out there and hunt and get the food or women do it? No one was going to question those things. Everybody knows, say, brother, it's okay, brother, we're going to come together, set a barrier, get some security. Okay, we need food. Okay, you're going to go get some food, brother. You do this, you do that. And the women are going to just get out the way and don't be like, I want to go hunt too. I could do this too. I want equality here. They're not going to be talking about that when things collapse. They're going to fall in their role. It's when you're in a privileged community, in a privileged world, you can start questioning gender roles. But go ahead and knock yourself out, sister, because you're losing. You're not winning. You're losing. Go ahead, brother. You were saying.
Yes, sir. I mean, yeah, because that's what it is. It's like I tell them all the time. It's like I had a conversation with a sister one time, and I was like, listen, that apple with the bite in it on the back of the Galaxy phone that you love so dearly, that's the same apple that Eve bit off of. And apparently somebody understands the psychology of a woman.
Yeah.
And they're utilizing that to take down the men, which basically prevents patriarchy and promotes matriarchy.
Yeah.
So it says to me that somebody understands the psychology of a woman, and women are being played, and they think they're so freaking smart, right? Now, I don't hate women because I live with one. We get along all right. We have arguments every now and then, but it ain't no yelling, ain't no cursing. Yeah. We argue about stuff like, yo, man, listen, like, what the stupid stuff we are. What did we get into it about today? That was so stupid. What did we get into about? The way the clock, look, Gabar, real quick, the funny moment, family. Gabar, this was the argument that me and my lady got into today. I wanted to close the blinds a certain way. She wanted to close them another way. And I'm like, listen, I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna argue with you about these blinds. You know what I mean? But that's as far as it's gonna go. And I'm not perfect, because I got plenty of issues. But I'm saying, like, there's order here because she knows that I'm a man. And at the end of the day, I have the last say so when it comes to everything. So, I had that kind of bend a little bit. Say, all right, whatever, man. I ain't gonna argue with you about these blinds, look up. Go on, turn them damn blinds up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we're happy. That's my whole point. Yeah, so I am not a man that's by himself with this ugly, overweight. Man, my woman is beautiful, and I prayed her into existence. Okay?
Well, amen to that,
I prayed her into existence.
Amen.
Oh, whoa.
Amen to that.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to say this real quick, just to show you, because I'm not going to get into that story there. Go ahead. The gas station. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I prayed her into existence. But anyway, that's another story. I get away from that. But I got people that can vouch for me, that literally. But anyway, so I had this conversation with this woman, right? And I was like, listen, the man has the seed. We have the sperm. And she was like, yeah, but the woman's womb represents the earth. And I came back and I said, well, if the man does not put the seed into the if a man is looked upon as, if a man's seed is looked upon as an apple seed, if he does not put his apple seed within the earth, the apple tree will cease to exist. She said, well, if the earth wasn't there, how can he put his apple seed within the earth for the apple seed to grow into an apple tree? Mm-hmm. She said, so the earth needs to be there, which is the womb of the woman. So just because we birth children in the earth, that should show you that we're more important. I said, interesting.
Right, because it's the seed that goes in the womb and nurtures the child. You're right. That's why the earth is usually associated as a woman, because that's what she does, similar to what women does. She nurtures the seed that is put in her. Go ahead. Yes, sir, exactly. And so when she said, well, so technically women would be more important because, like you just said, Brother Gabar, we nurture the seed to allow the apple tree to become an apple tree. Well, it's like this. Women are more important when there's certain things that women are better at, and that's, child raising, patience with children, and things of that nature, right? Because they were hardwired for that, right? So, but who created the world? Who created the system to make them be in a scenario that they could be nurturing to their children? The men, right? So, and this is not a thing that we want to go tiff to tap back and forth. And the reason why I'm saying this is this. Men from the history of time, as far as I can remember, never made a big thing about we better than women. However, though, I could go back to the 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and you will find women say, "Man, women are better than men," and they'll get a standing ovation. Right? So, but if you look at the stacks, if you look at the actual scientific scenario, if you look at the actual who's more valuable for the development and the establishment of a society, historically, if you look at what men have done versus what women done, it's all been a man's system. We say, okay, it's a patriarchal system that men set up. We set up the system. Why would we set up? Why would we will set up a system that you cannot set up? You have not been able to ever set up, according to history, and give it to a matriarchal system. Why would we do that? That's the dumbest thing. Sisters, if you set up a system, if you go out there and build the railroads and build the mountains and the skyscrapers and build the society and build a court system, build everything, are you going to just give it to the man? Don't you say, well, we build it. It's ours. So yes, it is a patriarchal system because men build the system.
Hello.
Because if men would not build the system, no one will build the system. Show me one time that a society was built by women. Court system, armies, some form of structure. It's all because men by nature are more industrial because God made us that way. So it's not that I want to say here men are better than women, ha ha. That's not the thing I'm saying that for. The reason why I'm saying that for is because we are sick and tired to hearing from women that men are worthless, that men are no good, that men are dogs, that men are this, that men are that. You are waking up a sleeping giant, sister. And you are the one with the problem. You're the one that's resenting men. You are the one that are disrespecting men. Us men, all we doing, we are just simply responding. And how will we respond? We're leaving. We're not engaging. We're leaving you alone. And going back to the whole thing with pregnancy and women, value bringing life to the world. Guess what? That's changing. They have found out and they have had technology now that you no longer need a woman to bring forth a child. Now, I won't condone it because I'm a Christian. I believe that a child should be born the way God programmed it. But guess what, sisters? A lot of men don't believe in God like we do. Some guys are like, you know what? Why should I risk having a child with a woman that I have to pay this child support? You know what? I'm going to do the same thing they've been doing. I'm going to go to a lab, put my sperm in some, artificial womb, and 9 months later, I have my child and it's not connected to any woman. Mark my words. In the next 5 years, you're going to start seeing that. And you're going to have less or more children being born without biological mothers. Mark my words. There's going to be so much resentment and concern and fear and anxiety in having a child with a woman in America. Man is going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to even risk it. And what we're trying to tell you, sisters, is that Satan is behind all of this. And more, he's separating us to the point we're going to be in each other's neck. And the way I see it, to turn this around, men of the Lord have to stand up and finally says, we're not going to take it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, men of the Lord are going to simply get on the Enoch and tap out of the society. Don't contribute to the society. You're not going to respect me? I am out of here. Where's Dad? Where he went? What happened to my husband? There's going to be the real left behind.
Mm.
And sisters, you are forcing our hand. You are forcing our hand. You know how many emails I get? You know how many phone calls I get from brothers like, Gabar, you're right, man. I'm with this woman. I'm taking care of her kids. She doesn't appreciate me. I say, brother, get the hell out of there, brother. But I don't know where to go. Listen, brother, find a way to go. Find a way to get out. And every brother there has taken my advice. And every brother there said, you know, elder, I took your advice 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I never been happier. I feel like there's a weight lifted off my shoulders. They never regret it. They never be like, hey, Gabar, I'm pissed off at you because you told me to leave that wicked woman and now, you know, I'm horrible without her. I'm miserable without her. I never heard that. And sisters, man, you're losing big. But according to the scripture, when I read my Bible, when I read these scriptures, I realize, okay, ain't going to be good for women. Woe unto the women with children of those days. Woe to them. Woe to the women with children of those days. And we're trying to just save you, brother. Brother Judah, any last words before we end the show?
Yes, sir. This last thing real quick. I want to call out Miss Sharon Brown, whoever this little Debbie is. Hey, Sharon Brown, this is for you because I tried to do this through the comments, but you know, the YouTube God, lowercase g, the demons that you associate with, they won't allow me to really speak. She said something to the extent about what kind of spirits would be in those tubes or something like that, right?
Right.
Well, I'm just going to read this to you real quick, Miss Sharon Brown, and don't you forget this, okay? 1 Timothy 2:12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the men, but to be in silence. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verses 34 through 35. Let your woman keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church. James 1:22 through 25. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. Ecclesiastes 25:25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Ecclesiastes 25:24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Ecclesiastes 25:19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 23 through 26. All this have I proved by wisdom, I said. I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off, and exceeding deep, who can find it out? I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom in the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even the foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Again, 1 Timothy 2:12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Again, 2 Chronicles 24 through 1 and 3. Joash, as a matter of fact, let's skip that. We're going to skip that. Testament of Reuben, chapter 5, verse 1. For women are evil, my children, and by reason of their lacking authority or power over men, they scheme treacherously, like you're doing, how they might entice him to themselves by means of their looks. I'm going to read that again. For women are evil, my children, and by reason of their lacking authority or power over men, they scheme treacherously, how they might entice him to themselves by means of their looks.
Well, Brother Judah, she has responded. She says, I know all of that, sir. Well,
Yeah.
I guess she,
Yeah.
excuse me, sister. I'm sorry. You know, you knew all of this.
Oh,
You
okay.
know.
I got a scripture for her, Gabar.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I got a scripture for that too.
She knows that.
John 14 and 15.
Brother Judah, she knows
she's
that
aware of
already,
those
Judah.
scriptures?
She's aware of those
Yeah.
scriptures. She's, you know.
Okay, I got you. Okay,
She's well studied.
Yes, sir. I've been trying to wrap up this last little point here. I know I've been talking a long time, but what I was trying to say is that yes, women have the womb, which is like the equivalence of the earth, and the seed goes into the womb.
Right.
And we know all of that. But like I said to this one sister, I said, listen, who made the womb? I said, it's the same person who made the woman, the Most High, and He made the Holy Spirit as well. I said, so if you want to go back into it, you say, well, the woman, the man, people cannot be here without the woman.
Well,
I said, yeah, but who made the woman?
Well, Brother Judah, she says, are you offended by something I said? I only speak the truth. So what exactly she said?
Oh.
I'm trying to find what exactly she said that inspire you. We are not equal and wish not to be. Okay. I'm trying to see her.
Oh.
I'm trying to see what you saw in particular.
Oh, may I answer that real quick?
Please.
Listen, that's easy. Yeah, that's easy. I don't argue with women. Yeah, she's done. She's out of here. Anyway, so check this out. What I was saying is this. And at the end of the day, Gabar, it's like,
I was trying to help you out here. I'm trying to see what exactly the brother saw. But to go back to the thing that, you mentioned about the kids that probably are going to be born, or now they're embracing this synthetic womb that they are developing, that now you can, put a seed in that womb and it will nurture it for 9 months. What kind of demons are going to come out of that? And the question, I think, if that is the concern, that exactly is my point. Is that is going against nature. And what sisters need to understand, I'm saying, okay, you're talking to God-fearing men, but we're not the majority in this country. We're the minority. And what I'm trying to say, most men are going to start realizing, if I have a child with a woman, I may have to pay child support and lose this, do that, but I want a child. I want a child. I don't want to adopt. I want to have my own seed. I'm telling you, they're going to start pushing for this. I don't condone this because it's not of the right, the natural order of God. The only place where a child's supposed to come from, to life, is between a woman's legs. It's through her womb. That's the way God did it and wants it to be done. However, though, we're not the majority here, sisters. Most guys are going to be like, you know what? I'm not having children with women because then I don't have to worry about giving you child support if, God forbid, things doesn't work out. I won't be surprised if men going to be like going behind women's back and be like, yeah, I want a son, so I this is my son. But you don't want to have a child with me? No, I don't want to have a child with you. Why? I don't want to risk it. I'd rather just have a son. I'm telling you, that's going to happen. I'm not condoning it. What I'm saying is that is what is going to happen. That's why women have to stop with their attitude. Stop getting offended because we're coming to you harsh and strong and in a way that is not, pleasant to your ears. I get it. You don't like austere and rough men when they're talking to you. You like seeing rough men talking to other men and yada, yada, yada. That turns you on. But when a man's talking to you a certain kind of way, you start getting offended. And sisters, when I see you guys commenting, you are every single time. You're losing the test. You failing the test. Let me give you a trick, sister, how to turn things around. I'm going to give you today's school night for you sisters. Let's just say a brother is talking to you, right? Or he's upset at you for something. Right? like you said, like I said, that brother went off on me. Okay, let's just say that brother went off on you. You don't fight masculine energy with masculine energy if you're a woman. First of all, you're not masculine. As much as you want to be, you're still using an emotional wreck. So even in, let's just say hypothetically, you feel that the man that is being, like you said, went off on you is not being fair or he's overreacting. You being right doesn't give you the right to assert authority over a man, even if you believe he's wrong. What the Bible says is, sisters, is to say, brother, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I apologize. And shut your mouth. And look how you would turn this thing around. Brothers, if a sister offends you, says something, or does something that offends you, and she apologized and said, brother, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I apologize if I offended you. And sit, that's it. Don't say, I'm sorry, to offend you, but I just had an emotional day, and you said this. No, don't go into all that explanation. Just apologize and shut your mouth. And watch how the thing is going to turn around. If I'm wrong, brothers, give me a thumbs down. If I'm right, give me a thumbs up.
Man, can I put 3 thumbs up?
Yeah, we need to educate women how to deal with men energy. Even if a man is dead wrong, even if he's gotten certain things incorrect or whatever in your eyes, in your perspective, or you feel he's overreacted, cállate la boca, be quiet. Let that energy pass, and you will come with him with meek and humble spirit. There you go. Look, Brother Judah, she's learning. She said, don't you know I didn't know I offended him. If I did, I apologize. See?
Hey, Brother Gabar.
Here's
the thing. I'm sorry, go ahead, bro. Excuse me.
We're getting some progress on the show. We're getting some progress, right? But what I'm trying to say, sisters, don't fight that energy. When a man is coming hard and austere, let him be hard and austere. Don't challenge it. Don't challenge it. Just let it be. And if you know how to use your femininity, he will end up apologizing to you at the end. Women do not know how to use their power, their femininity. They only know how to use their power, their femininity, when they want something from a man. But they don't know how to turn things around. When a man is hot for any reason, it's your time to observe and immediately say, okay, something is wrong here. I said something that I probably didn't mean to be rude or was out of pocket or whatever. And it's not, don't look at it from a perspective who's right or who's wrong. Look at it from a perspective, a man is hot right now. Let me calm the situation. Let me calm the room. Okay, Brother Judah, you were saying. Any last words?
Yeah. I've been trying to get to this point here, and that's a great point, Brother Gabar. But yeah, anyways, what I was saying is this. One thing about me, man, I'm going to tell you something. And that's why I say I can't wait to meet with the brothers. I can't wait until Sunday until we have the men's meeting, what have you, on Zoom, whatever. Because one thing about me, man, I ain't got to say I'm a warrior. When it comes to like the art of spiritual warfare, I'm going to tell you. I always know the enemy, man. I understand enough. Like I tell people all the time, the number one rule of warfare is to know your enemy. The second rule of war is to know your terrain. Once you recognize the players, you understand the game. I know the game because I know who's playing. I know who's playing because I know I'm behind enemy lines, and I know I'm behind enemy lines. I know that I'm behind enemy lines. Therefore, I know the enemy at all times, male or female, white or black. I'm so spiritual, it's ridiculous. I'm serious. So none of that works on me. So when it comes to certain things like that, because I understand why people come, I don't even address it. So anyway, last 10 seconds, sir. You made a great point earlier about the jealousy of men. And me and my lady was talking about this the other day, right? Yeah. Check this out. Because notice, Gabar, since you met me from day one, I've always talked very. I got you on speakerphone. I always talk loud. I'm from Alabama. You know, I'm kind of like a Southern guy. I'm unapologetic. I come from a place in which when we wanted to call somebody back in the day, back in the 90s, we didn't use a phone because cell phones, you know, we didn't really have cell phones down there, like in poor areas like that.
Yeah.
We just go outside on the front porch and we yell. My mom used to come outside. She'd say, "Elcha, Elcha." You know, we can hear 2-3 blocks away and we come home. So I grew up being a loud talker. I'm unapologetically masculine. So I don't, like I said again, I don't address none of that stuff there. But the whole jealous thing, the whole jealous thing.
Yeah.
Men are boxers. Men started boxing. Women want to go and be boxers. Men were in UFC at a time in MMA fighting.
Yeah.
Now you see women doing it.
Yeah.
Men were NBA basketball players only. And then I began to grow up. Now women want to play basketball. But one thing I noticed about the women in MMA, one thing that I noticed about the women in UFC, and one thing that I know about the women in WNBA and the women who are trying to box like men, they don't have husbands. And if they do have husbands, he's a beta. Because your wife should walk around here with muscles.
Yeah, and let me give you something. Let me tell you something else. And I agree with you.
Sir.
I agree with you. Tell me something that a sport, a fashion, something, a fad, something that women like to do. The men are raising their hands like, I want to do that too. Mm-hmm. Tell me one thing. Tell me one thing, one industry that women started that men began, I want to be part of that too.
Not one.
Women like to do their nails, and that's usually a woman thing. Right? Do you see guys come like, I want to do that too? Women usually like romance novel. That's usually a woman thing. That's what they like, you know, and so forth, so on. That ties into their femininity. You don't see guys, why there's no more man's, you know, novels, and we want to do that too. We want to be part of that too.
Jealousy.
So sisters, I'm telling you, there's certain things that is hardwired for men, right? And I don't mind, you know, women liking sports and all that. I don't have a necessarily problem from that, but the spirit that comes from that. Like women that complain about the women NBA, you know, the NBA. Women's basketball, they're not getting paid the same amount of money. They're not getting the same amount of sponsors, because sponsors and money and salary comes from viewership. And people don't watch basketball. Women don't watch women basketball like that. So sisters, stop trying to put a square in a triangle. Stop it. It's not working. You're making yourself miserable. You're making yourself depressed, and you're clearly not happy. Say to yourself, you know what? There's certain things God made for men, and there's certain things God made for women. And you have to find that lane. And it's a sad scenario because, like I said, it's not men that are going to be losing. Yeah, men has been losing. They've been losing their house. They've been losing their mortgage. They've been losing their checks. They've been losing their freedom. They've been losing this. But we're wising up now. We're wising up. We're no longer engaging. We're no longer doing the same conversations, the same mistakes our older brother did, our father did, our grandfather did. And we're doing the worst thing for sisters these days. We're tapping out. We're not even engaging with you anymore. We're going overseas getting women. We're not dealing with American women anymore. A few years back, I show a meet and greet for women, a thing for women to meet men, single men, a single retreat. No man showed up, only women. But you guys want to be stubborn. You guys want to be just do it your way. Okay, good luck with that. I don't even want to waste my time to change your mind. That's why I'm only dealing with men.
Brother Gabar, may I read this statistic?
Yes, sir.
Before I go. Because
Yes,
I know
sir.
I've been talking a lot, man. And family, I apologize. And Brother Gabor, I want to thank you for allowing me to speak on your platform. Family, I really apologize, and I'm going to do better. I guess on the next podcast, Brother Gabor, I'm going to try to just hang
Listen,
in
brother.
and-
Listen. You would
Yes, sir.
if you bother me, I'll let you know. You're good. Go.
Con, yes, sir. Go. Let's do it. Yes, sir. All right. So, I wanted to, these are the last three things I wanted to read. I said something back in like 2008, and I was in Montgomery back home, and I was recording a song with my man. And I am not a rapper or anything like that. I don't rap. I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
You know, but back in the day, you know, we all go through that rap stage because it starts off as poetry. You get in the booth, you hear a beat, and you start saying that poetry to a beat. And it's like, you know, you're like, damn, oh man, that sounds good. Oh, you can rap. That's what we call rapping. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't knock nobody because I used to do it. But anyway, I said something a long time ago. I made a song called Jealousy, and I'm not gonna rap it because, like I said again, I really kind of despise rap. Really, it's kind of like lower than me, beneath me, kind of. I don't knock nobody.
After the late '90s, it just got weird for me. I just, Just,
cooking up dough with my Uzi, it's bad and bougie. Migos and them, right? I'm like, look, I was like, yep, it's the end of the world. But anyway, So I said on the song a long time ago, I said, it's called Jealousy. It says, the first emotion of evil, remember, B, if I look out for you, how I got hell in me. Cain's brother is, let me say, it says, the first emotion of evil, remember, B, if I look out for you, how I got hell in me. Cain's brother was the first casualty. Jealousy. Look, you start doing good, all your friends vanish. Success to you is another man's challenge. Envy and anger is envy and anger is the devil's recipe. Jealousy. So I thought this a long time ago. Men or women, streets or the workplace. I see everybody for who they are. Yeah. So they wasting their breath. I promise you, this is not the tree you want to bark up. But anyway, so with that being said, corroborating evidence. I sent this to your phone a while ago. Here are two statistics, family. This is from Politico.eu. Sperm counts, to support what Brother Gabor is saying. Sperm counts are set to reach 0 in 2045. Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. Leading scholar Shauna Swan says, voiced by artificial intelligence, there's a looming solution to all of humanity's problems. By 2045, most men may no longer be able to reproduce because of the impact of hormone-altering chemicals. Mm-hmm. That's sauce.
Right.
That's sauce. Now I'm not gonna get into that sauce. You know, the juice bar. I'm not gonna get into the sauce. But we know what we're talking about. So when you say it's too late for the sisters, they can think whatever they want. Time is running out, and they're gonna be judged. Everything is about to close down. We're gonna see who's who at the end, because the righteous men and the strong man will survive. And even if we do die, we're gonna give it a good fight. But I'm gonna be honest with you. It's some terror that's about to hit this earth. And these sisters should be shaking in their pull-ups right now. Because you got grown men shaking in their pull-ups. But the righteous, we don't deal with the fear, the fear of the devil. Because fear is not of the Lord. We don't feel fear. So we kind of loco, really.
Yeah.
Anybody who know me know for a fact, I'm kind of a little off, man. And I'm a pretty great guy. You know, I never cross you, but yeah, I'm a little out of it, man. Because I don't have fear. Yeah. So with that being said, I wanted to bring that
has to be a little. Yeah, I think you have to be a little creative to survive this thing that's coming. But go ahead, you were saying.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's like this: when you deal with brothers who got that mentality like me, and there's a bunch of cats that think just like me. I know a bunch of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes there are brothers out there that exist like that are absent of it, straight up, that are absent. You see, I've had triggers pulled in my face, point blank range, and then flinch. And I have witnesses. My lady right here, I got witnesses. So when I tell you don't feel fear, I'm not just saying it because it feels good. I'm telling you the truth. And there are many men out there that think like that. They're called warriors. When you go to Iraq and Fallujah, you got men who wear uniforms with AR-15s that go to different places, and people in with Vietnam, they don't feel that.
Yeah.
It left a long time ago. So guess what? I don't use that to make it seem like it's trying to give me an advantage. I bleed like everybody else. But I'm just letting you know what time it is with me. So with that being said, here's another statistic. This is from Policy Report, Center for Urban Renewal and Education. This is from like a government website, congress.org or something like that, y'all. Let me see. It's policy report, the effects of abortion on the black community. I'm pretty sure people have heard this already.
Yeah.
The research team, the editors, Star Parker, Center for Urban Renewal and Education. Check it out, y'all. This 2 paragraphs and I'm done. Shoot, I've been talking too much. All right, so the abortion consumer. Disproportionately, the leading consumer of the abortionist services is the African-American female. According to the 2011 abortion surveillance report issued by the Center for Disease Control, black women make up 14% of the childbearing population, yet obtained 36.2% of reported abortions. Black women have the highest abortion ratio in the country, with 474 abortions per 1,000 live births. Percentages at these levels illustrate that more than 19 million black babies have been aborted since 1973. According to the Department of Public Health of every state that reports abortion by ethnicity, black women disproportionately lead in the numbers. For example, in Mississippi, 79% of abortions are obtained by black women. In Washington, D.C., more than 60%. In Georgia, 59.4%. In Alabama, 58.4%. In state after state, similar numbers are found, with black women aborting at 2, 3, or more times their presence in the population. At every income level, black women have higher abortion rates than whites or Hispanics, except for women below the poverty line, where Hispanic women have slightly higher rates than black women. I'm done.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Brother Judah, for sharing your wisdom. And we'll definitely talk this Sunday. Can't wait to talk to the brothers and build this rapport. And absolutely, let's go God's way. Amen. And thank you for joining us, brother. I appreciate you.
Shalom, bro.
Shalom. All right, there it is. Brother Judah in the house. Bringing fire to the house. And let me say this. You know, I know this show is going to probably be called, the He-Man Women Haters Show. It's not about hate, it's about love. And we're no longer playing games. We're no longer taking manipulation from women. We're no longer taking this constant disrespect. Like, I want to give you an example. The sisters that are there. These are sisters you should not marry, brothers. When sisters be like I said, my brother is one, and you wouldn't want, no, he is coming. What is, I can't see this. Let me get my glasses. Trends in the same act as Bruce Lee, whatever that means. What I'm saying is this, sister. Sometimes I don't judge a woman when we agree. I judge a woman we disagree. When you disagree with a woman, that's when you see her true colors. When everybody's getting along and everybody's okay, shalom, brother, shalom, sister, we agree with certain things, right? But the minute a sister's disagreeing or sisters feel that she's all over the place, you start seeing the sarcastic, you start seeing the true colors. And I'm glad you're doing this, sisters. I'm glad. So, because it does two things. It points you out like a sore thumb. That's the one. There it is. So it helps us, brother, out to greater smell the bull crap sooner. See, sometimes back in the days, a lot of people don't know this. I used to pick a fight with a woman. It's like, you know what? I'm dating this girl for a while. We haven't gotten to an argument. Let me pick a fight because I want to see how she responds when we are disagreeing. A lot of women, they fall for the trick all the time. And it is your lack of discipline. You lack discipline. But my attention is for the men. I don't want to spend too much time because even this whole thing with men, we hardwired to help and save women. So when we see women doing wrong things, we want to get emotionally involved and try to help them. I need to protect myself from that because I don't want to engage in that life. I don't want to engage in that trying to help sisters out. I got an email, sisters telling me, oh, when are you going to do, brother, when are you going to do women going God's way and things of that nature? And be like, and I used to be like, in the future, I'm going to probably do something. You know what? I got to be honest with myself and those sisters. I'm never going to set up an organization called Women Going God's Way. If women want to get the benefit from Men Going God's Way or be part of an organization like Men Going God's Way for women, it's real simple. Marry a man in the organization called Men Going God's Way. And you could get the benefit that way. I'm no longer putting too much attention for women. I'm glad women are coming in and chatting, this and that, because it's helping the men out. Brothers, these are the women you should look out for. So thank you, sisters. Thank you. I appreciate you. For proving me right. So I'll say this, brothers and sisters, especially brothers. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to support, we got the Super Chat. We also got the PayPal, Cash App. I appreciate you because they're going to take some funding to run this institution, this organization we're looking to start. Brothers, if you want to be part of this meeting this Sunday, please send an email to IAMFITPodcast@gmail.com. IAMFITPodcast@gmail.com. And Shalom, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of this conversation. Until next time, Shalom. Okay, all right, okay, sisters. So you're ending. You're teachable. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Shalom and peace, brothers and sisters.